Today we're going into the series. This is the aftermath of World War III. And this is what the alliance map looks like. Keep in mind, some of the nations colored the same, like Egypt is actually a puppet. These are occupied zones, technically, or puppets, whatever you call it. And that's another puppet. And Venezuela and Cuba is also a puppet. America didn't annex anymore. But at the first thing, seeing the people want to overthrow him after his embarrassing defeat. And Vladimir's probably like 500 at this point. But anyways. Okay. Now, you can see his nation is colored red. And he's gone to war with the Siberia. And Siberia decided to send aid. So they didn't really enter the war, per se. Or like an aiding nation. Because they know that this would mean an invasion of them if victory has occurred. With all of the world nations basically supporting them, with their rampage into Siberia in the Far East. With a victory at this point for them seeming very inevitable. And basically anybody who's taken land from this is seen as an enemy at any point in history. With a spearhead being made that cuts off the north. Oh wait, they let forces in. They invade this nation. This is their entrance of the war. They just invaded a neutral nation. This is a big X. Nope, that's not the word. I can't finish the word when you make the war more nations involved. Can't say the word again. For some reason. With Vladimir Russia, or Putinist Russia, let's call it. The Russian state has been reformed, basically, as they declare this a Russian Federal Republic. But they're not limited in what they're willing to do. They're now going to war to Kazakhstan, as they can't invade further east. In their war in Kazakhstan, their first goal is to take the capital, Astana. And when they do that, the full north falls over. And then they make a push towards the Caspian Sea. Like their only water source, so they can use for trading, I guess. Armenia is what are they even at? They're not even the right color. But that's an Armenia issue. With Kazakhstan getting very close to capitulation. With a capitulation eventually happening. When Kazakhstan capitulates, Russia is warned about further expansion. They heed that warning for just now. As expansion of the NATO happens. Why would they expand their alliance? Because, well, why wouldn't they? With the central states of China becoming imperialist and wanting to take the rest over. But most nations are being protected at this point. So, let's go to this layer. Let's fix some of the border issues for this alliance. As you can see, this nation has expanded rapidly. Are they probably trying to go up against NATO? Yes. Will they have the strength? Well, that's their goal. With an alliance having been formed, that is a new alliance. And this alliance is led by Russia, that inland territory of China, and Iran decides to join. So they may not have many strong nations, but they're trying to get strong. And another alliance is created, which is known as the Pacific Organization of Defense. And a few nations decide to join it. Japan and South Korea join it, along with Taiwan, Vietnam, Thailand, the Philippines, and really none else of China, Malaysia, Australia, New Zealand, and Papua New Guinea. This is a major alliance that just formed. It follows, like, basically NATO, closely aligned to NATO too. So, like, it signs a few treaties with NATO, but it's its own organization. And another one forms, well, I'm just forming it just to show, really, India has a few puppets. Realistically, you could say this is an alliance, and basically Bangladesh joins, and Tibet decides to join, which really puts a dent in their plan. With the Middle Eastern states joining this, with Jordan joining it and Yemen joining this alliance. Djibouti joins this one, and one is formed in South Africa. They call this the South African Defense League. It's South Africa, Lesotho, Eswatini, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Malawi, Zambia, Namibia. With this alliance expanding into this nation, the Democratic Republic of Congo, which brings this puppet of them in. And yeah, with the economic prosperity of the ECOWAS, which, let's say, became a military alliance during the war, has become prominent. Nations picking alliances, with a decision of Mexico to join America's alliance, NATO. And well, as you can see, the alliances are completely filling up the map. But is there a war in this video? Well, it becomes known as the Tibet War, with the China that's become imperialist deciding they will go to war with Tibet to get a border with Russia, in which they can make trade and stuff. Why would they align with Russia, you may say? Because, well, they can get lands back. But they might not be ready for what's going to happen on the other front. As you can see, this is the alliance, with Mongolia interested in joining it, but we'll have to see if they can make it through a vote of the members. And they might even have to give up land. With Xinjiang, or East Turkestan, which I think I called the state, but I might have forgot, is annexed and put as Xinjiang, with this country declaring war on them, saying that their imperialism is erratic and makes no sense. And the imperialism doesn't make any sense, because they failed in this war right away to imperialist China. And imperialist China has shown its strength already, with an idea to set up a zone to here, which is basically done. Which basically guarantees the security of these nations in this war, as they know this nation's going to lose. And they're not trying to help the other nation, they're trying to help themselves, as you can see, this scenario. But let's see how the borders were shifted, because I think I can do this one quick. To here was occupied by that China state, and to here was occupied by this one. So the rest is taken by imperialist China. And yes, now they share a border with their ally, Russia. But they only made one key mistake. They let these nations take land, which slows their strengthening. And could this be the worst thing? No, it's not. But it's good for this alliance to have slowed the imperialism, with Mongolia being allowed in by 3 of the 4 members, so, like, they're added in. They're the newest member to the new World Alliance. I'm not going to fix all the borders up to date on this map at this point, but I'll fix this one. And that's pretty much all for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Wild Mapper out, but not until you subscribe. Bye, guys!